Hi, my fellow Americans. I'm Dr. Stephen Clark Bradley, and this is what I think. We're going to go right into part 2 of discussing what will happen of the dire consequences and the repercussions of a total Democrat-Socialist victory on November 3rd. As I said earlier, 1788 was the date when our nation was really founded on the Constitution that was ratified. And 2020, on November 3rd, could be the date when our nation ended, when socialism took over, and we lost our freedom as a free and open society. Yeah, my face, I know, has a look of strain upon it, and my heart is hopeful, very hopeful, but concerned that maybe some of us are not taking this as seriously as we ought to, because this is the most dire election with the most utterly important and significant consequences that we have ever had, not just in my lifetime nor yours, but in the history of our nation. We've got to take it very seriously, because our very existence as a free society, as a nation of prosperity, is on the line. And it's all up to you and me. The fate of our nation is in our hands. I hope you realize that. Not just Donald Trump. I love Donald Trump. He's a great man. I'm not worried about Donald Trump. I'm worried about America. But Donald Trump is the one that maintains and holds our nation together right now in the face of so many domestic enemies. I'm not pleading for you to vote because you love Donald Trump. I'm pleading with you to vote for Donald Trump because he's the wall that separates us from tyranny, from non-existence. He's the wall that maintains our freedom, freedom of speech, self-defense, all the things that we hold dear that make us different and exceptional throughout the world. That's what I'm pleading for. To save our nation, not to save Donald Trump. Donald Trump's had his good life. Even he would agree with me. Vote for America. And if you vote for America, you will vote for Donald Trump. You will not vote for Joe Biden, because Joe Biden is a Trojan horse being used to bring in evil enemies into our very structure of our nation that will derail us as a democracy, as a republic, as a free and open society. On November 3rd, 2020, on the very moment, if this happens, I don't believe it will, but if it happens that the Democrat Party has won the House of Representatives, the U.S. Senate, and the presidency, at that very moment, this great nation of freedom will have died. This great nation, our people, will have said that we no longer think it's a cherished thing to maintain our nation in the face of violence that we see today. Yes, come on, as it has been said, democracy, freedom is messy. It's in flux. It's always changing, all the time. We're always dealing with things that we have to deal with, that we have to handle, that we have to adapt to. We're always doing it, and it takes a lot of stamina and a lot of devotion to our system. But if that happens, that the Democrats win this election based upon what they have already said they're going to do, and all those who will take over the government who are socialists, it's as though the very interpretation thereof will be that the people of the United States of America have said, we don't want freedom anymore. We don't want to maintain our society. We don't want to have to think our way through the problems that we face. We prefer to give it over to a bloated, powerful, all-consuming, all-oppressive government that will take care of us. They will not take care of you. They will use us to take care of them. That's what socialism does by its very nature. We need to look at this. we need to really think about what's going to happen to us if we allow these things to take place in our society, in our nation. As we said earlier in the previous video, we said that we will lose our private property. You may not agree, but it's the nature of socialism. Lenin of the Soviet Union said, the goal of socialism is communism. And communism starts where God dies. He said that very clearly. And that's the goal of Bernie Sanders. That's the goal of Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is a hypocrite. Her great-grandfather was the third largest slave owner in Jamaica, and yet she's railing on people whose ancestors from hundreds of years ago owned slaves, and including our founding fathers. As I said in one of my previous videos, how they want to take down the monuments because they owned slaves. We have to look at this. We will lose our private property. They're taking it now. There's no more respect for what you've worked for and earned by the sweat of your brow. And they very easily and they think righteously, give it to those who did nothing. It is unconstitutional to force me to give my material that I earned to someone who didn't earn it. It's also unconstitutional for us to see those who can't earn and can't do. We must help them. It's a balancing act. But by God, I will not allow someone to take what I have for my family and give it to someone who didn't want to go out and earn it themselves. Will you? That's what will be demanded of us, of you, if you vote for Joe Biden. You're not voting for Joe Biden if you vote for Joe Biden. You're voting for Bernie Sanders, for Alexandra Ocasio Cortez, for Elizabeth Warren. You're voting for the squad. You have to take that into consideration and take it seriously. You're not voting for Joe. Joe is nothing but a senile old man whose time has passed and who is being used as a conduit, as a catalyst, as a Trojan horse to bring in Marxism, really, the ultimate end of what will take place in America. I was talking to my friends here, and I was saying, can you imagine they're from another country? If America dies, it won't only hurt America, it will destroy the whole world. Nobody will have anywhere to run. Nobody will want to come to America because America will die. We have to stop it. If we don't stop it, we will die. America will no longer exist as a free nation. It will become the most oppressive place in the history of the world, and there'll be nobody to stop it. Think about it. Also, it will lead to civil war. I'm talking to you right now, my American, red-blooded American patriots who have bought your guns, learned how to use them, prepared yourself. The very purpose of the Second Amendment was to be able to have those guns for just such a time as this. Just such a time as this. When a government no longer has your rights in mind, your interest, or your well-being in mind, but only has oppressive ideals, a philosophy that steals everything away that the Constitution afforded us. Those guns were allowed to us for just such a time as this. I'm talking to you. Are you going to allow just lay down and die and let them take our government? Or are we going to rise up, fight back, and civil war if need be, and die if need be? If America is worth living for, it's certainly worth dying for. Wouldn't you agree? Because that's what's coming if the Democrats win. They are now putting out reports that if Trump wins, that the left will not allow or permit a second Trump administration, which means they won't submit. They're all yelling, well, Donald Trump won't leave the White House. And that's bad. Of course he would leave the White House Sadly, we would all be. But he's a man of honor. He's a man of the law. He would do what the law says. But these people say if Donald Trump wins, they will not permit it. They will be on the street. They will be killing people. And there will be a war either way. But I can tell you, if the Democrats win this and socialism comes, we who love the country, who claim ourselves to be patriots, have got to be willing to go out, stand up on the front line, and give our everything, our very last ounce of devotion to preserve the republic for today and for our posterity tomorrow. How many of you have little children right now? You want the best for them. I have 7 grandchildren. How many of you have a future that you've planned out for them, that you want to give them and put away your money and your time and your effort and taught them the values so they have a better life in the future? Believe me, if the Democrats win on November 3rd, that's all gone. That life will be over. You will no longer be able to plan out your children's life or give them hope to plan it themselves with the values you instill in them. You will be destined to do what the government tells you to do. So I'm talking to all of us, including myself. What are we prepared to do? We cannot lay down and just say, okay, sir, whatever you say, sir, we're going to listen to you, sir. No, we won't. We need to rise up, take back our government. We can never become a socialist state, at least not without a fight. If we're not willing to do that, nothing will remain. If the Democrats win, they will use our money to end the life of the unborn and the already born. They're doing it now. If the Democrat-Socialists win, we will not have a right to protest. We will not have a leg to stand on. We will not even have the Supreme Court to turn to. This is what we're facing, guys. I hope we all take it seriously. The law will change. Our law will no longer be perpetrated or founded on equality. Not everybody will have equal treatment under the law. Those that are poor and who have been determined to have lived a historical abuse as families of former slaves or whatever it might be, that will take precedence over you. It's already starting. Already starting. If this comes to pass, the law will be changed. Looters will be able to take what they want because you have it and they can't get it. So we're looking at all this day. There's going to be great upheaval, great strife, no matter who wins. But if we're not willing to fight back, when this takes place, our nation will be gone unless we're ready. Are you ready? You need to sit down, contemplate. Remember not just the bad days that we live right now, difficult times with the pandemic, not just the riots, but remember the good days of freedom that we experience as Americans. Remember the things that you wanted that you could get because you got a job, especially when Donald Trump came to office and brought the economy back. Remember what you lived under Obama when he took everything away. Obama will look like a holiday in comparison to what we will live if Joe Biden wins and Bernie Sanders, AOC, Elizabeth Warren, and all these traitors of freedom take over our government. Obama will look like Santa Claus in comparison. It's time to think, guys. What do you want for your future and your children's future? The day is upon us. We must decide. Nobody can make the decision but you and me. Let's choose wisely. See you later.